Let me share something that might feel a little uncomfortable, but it's absolutely necessary. Only 5% of women are still doing these 5 things. Not because others can't, but because many have convinced themselves it's not needed. They've stepped back, turned inward, and accepted the idea that slowing down means giving up, that certain seasons of life are meant to be quiet, still, and hidden. But you're not here to fade away. You're here to rise. Let's talk about 5 powerful things that only a few continue to do, and how you can be one of them. First, stand tall, not just in your body, but in your spirit. Your body tends to bend when your spirit begins to fall. And when your body folds, your mind often follows. If you want to keep going strong, start with your spine, start with your shoulders. Standing tall isn't just about posture, it's about presence. It's a declaration that says, I'm still here, I still matter, I'm still moving forward. Many begin to hunch. Their steps slow down, their breath shortens, their posture closes in. That's not just life happening. That's letting go. And letting go is a choice. You can choose strength. You can choose presence. Second, stay physically active every day. The body you stop using is the one that weakens. The women who are thriving, they move, they walk, they stretch, they lift, not to compete, not to impress, but to stay strong, like warriors, quiet, steady, determined. You don't have to do everything, but you must do something. Every step you take with intention is a step towards strength, not decline. Third, keep your mind alive by learning with purpose. Mental clarity doesn't vanish by itself. It weakens when we stop feeding it. The ones who stay sharp keep reading, they keep learning, they stay curious, they ask questions, they challenge themselves, because the brain, like the body, thrives on effort. Comfort makes it dull. Challenge keeps it bright. Fourth, stay connected to people. Isolation can be a silent storm. It doesn't always look like sadness, but it pulls you down, little by little. The ones who stay vibrant stay involved. They listen, they laugh, they mentor, they show up, they call friends, they keep sharing love, because relationships keep your heart beating strong. Disconnection makes the soul quieter. But community, that brings joy back to life. Fifth, create structure in your days. Strength is built through consistency, through habits, through rhythm. Wake up with purpose, eat with care, rest when needed, move on schedule, keep routines, keep order. You don't have to be rigid, but you do need to be rooted. The strongest women aren't always the loudest. They're the ones who create quiet order in a chaotic world. And here's one more, maybe the most important of them all. Keep a vision for your future. Living well isn't just about doing the right things. It's about having something to reach for. The women who stay strong aren't just surviving. They're dreaming, they're creating, they're writing, planting, building, teaching. They're still imagining, still contributing, still becoming. Because deep down, they know there's more ahead. And there is. This is your moment of truth. Will you rise? Will you show up? Will you stay ready? It's not about how you started, it's about the decision you make today. So stand tall, think clearly, move with power, love with purpose, and don't stop dreaming, because your story isn't over. Not even close. We forget how powerful the simple things are. How you sit, how you walk, how you hold yourself. All of it sends messages, not just to others, but to yourself. Posture isn't just about back pain, it's a signal. It tells the world, I'm alive, I'm ready, I'm present. And more than that, it tells you the same thing. When a woman lifts her chin, opens her chest, and walks tall, she's not just adjusting her body, she's awakening her soul. She's saying, I will not be small. I will not shrink away. Because life has a way of pulling people down. The shoulders round, the eyes drop, the breath gets shallow, and over time, the body folds in. It's not always physical, it's emotional. It's a slow surrender to invisible weight. But you don't have to carry it that way. You don't have to disappear. When you choose to rise, to straighten up, to reclaim your space, you become a message, a reminder, a light. And yes, it takes effort. The body needs work. But the reward is strength, freedom, and clarity. You are not fading, you are rising. You are not less, you are more. Every morning, take a moment, stand tall, roll your shoulders back, breathe deep, look forward and say, I'm not done. Yeah, because you're not. You have purpose, you have wisdom, you have power, and the way you walk reminds the world of that. Your posture affects your emotions, it affects your hormones, it changes the way you think and feel. This isn't theory, it's science. Standing tall lifts your mood, sharpens your thinking, and builds confidence. You can't control everything life brings, but you can control how you show up, how you stand, how you speak, and how you lead. So start there, not with big goals or loud noise, but with a quiet decision to rise again. And then keep going. Exercise isn't just for athletes, it's for everyone. Not to look good, but to stay strong, free, and steady. Movement is a gift. It's a statement that says, I care about my strength. Too many stop moving when life gets heavy. But those who keep moving, they stay free. They stay grounded. They stay ready. You don't need to run marathons, you just need to stay consistent. A walk, a stretch, a light lift, a deep breath. It all adds up. Keeps your balance sharp, your legs strong, your heart beating with rhythm, and most of all, it builds confidence. When you feel strong, you live bold. It's never too late to rebuild strength. The body responds to effort, no matter the season. Muscles wake up, joints loosen, endurance returns. All it takes is the decision to begin, and then to keep going. You are not too late, you are right on time. The ones who stay strong know this truth. Strength isn't given, it's built, it's protected, it's fought for. So fight for it, not with violence, but with discipline, with movement, with repetition, with intention. Make it a habit. Make it a lifestyle. Make it part of your identity. You're not training to impress, you're training to live fully, to rise easily, to hold yourself with power, to reach, to carry, to climb, to walk through every door life opens. And that's just the beginning. There's pride in being able to carry your own bag, in lifting your arms above your head without pain, in getting up from the floor without needing a hand. These aren't little things, they're bold declarations. I still have control. I still decide how I move through life. And when you keep that control, you keep confidence, you hold on to self-respect, you hold on to life itself. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to be steady. 10 push-ups a day, 5 minutes leaning against a wall doing squats, a quiet walk before the sun comes up. These aren't just exercises, they're acts of defiance. They're armor against the slow breakdown that tries to creep in as the years pass. But the few women who train, the few who choose to sweat, the few who demand effort from themselves each day, those are the ones who slow it down. They're the ones still writing their own stories, instead of becoming part of a number in a report. Discipline is freedom. Physical effort is the doorway. And daily movement, even in your 70s or 80s, isn't about vanity. It's a battle, a daily fight against decline. People say aging means your brain starts slipping, like once you hit 70, your thoughts get foggy and your memories disappear. But here's the real truth. It's not age that breaks down the mind, it's neglect. Your brain isn't meant to retire. It's not built to sit in front of a TV or drift through the same day over and over again. It's made to solve problems, to find meaning, and if you stop using it, it starts to rust. There's this lie floating around that learning is only for the young, that once you leave school or leave your job, you can just relax your brain. But that's how the mind starts slipping. That small group of older women who are still thriving, they've figured something out that most people haven't. Your brain needs training, just like your body. If you want to stay sharp, you have to stay active, not with empty distractions, but with real, challenging thoughts. That's what wakes up the brain and reminds it who it really is. It doesn't matter what you study. What matters is that you keep studying. Read about something new. Try to learn a different language. Practice writing. Memorize lines of poetry. Take classes that make you feel like a beginner again. Struggle with it. The struggle is the point. Keeps your mind flexible, your thoughts alive, because comfort is the true killer. The moment you decide you're too old to learn, you've already started slipping. Learning with purpose isn't the same as staying busy. You can do crossword puzzles all day and still feel numb. What matters is effort, the kind that pushes you, the kind that forces your mind to stretch instead of shrink. Most people get smaller as they age, not in size, but in thought. They stop asking why, they stop exploring, they stop being curious. But curiosity isn't something for children. It's what keeps the fire alive. And here's the thing no one says, enough. Your brain can still grow. It still wants to grow. Even at 70, even at 80, the science proves it. Neuroplasticity, the ability for the brain to change, doesn't vanish. But it only stays alive through challenge. If you stay stuck in autopilot, doing the same routine, having the same shallow talks, your brain goes to sleep. And then, slowly, it begins to fade. You forget where your keys are, you laugh about it, but deep down, you're scared. Scared this is the start of the end, but it doesn't have to be. You can fight back. You can train your brain just like you train your body. With purpose and with consistency, you can make the decision that age isn't a reason to stop, it's the reason to go harder. Wake up earlier, read better books, ask deeper questions, talk about ideas, not to win arguments, but to think clearly. Because clarity is hard work. And it's worth it. Many older women doubt themselves more than others ever could. They believe their learning days are behind them, that their thinking has reached its limit. But here's what they don't see. Thinking deeply, questioning bravely, staying mentally sharp, it's a radical act. In a world that's trying to dull you, it's bold to stay sharp. It says, I still care, I still matter, I still want to understand. And that's more important now than ever, because the world isn't slowing down. New information is everywhere. The future will belong to those who keep learning, not just physically, but mentally. And yes, you can still learn, you can still adapt. That takes humility, the kind that says, I don't know, but I want to. It takes courage to begin again, to not have all the answers. And it takes discipline to keep showing up for yourself. The older women who live full, bright lives well into their 80s and 90s, it's not luck, it's not genetics, it's choice. They choose growth. They choose to face complexity. They keep stretching, learning, and discovering. And that's why their minds stay young. They feed their minds with what they crave: challenge, purpose, knowledge. That's not just the path, that's the reward. There's a kind of death that comes long before your heart stops, a quiet one. It sneaks in when you stop feeling seen, when you stop feeling heard, when you stop feeling needed. You feel it when no one calls, when meals are eaten in silence, when your thoughts bounce around your own head with nowhere to go. That's not just loneliness, that's isolation. And it's one of the most dangerous things a woman over 70 can face. Science has shown us that chronic loneliness is linked to higher risks of heart issues, memory loss, sadness, and even early death. It's as harmful as smoking or being severely overweight. But stats only tell a part of the story. The real pain is this: humans are meant to be connected. We're built for it. And without it, something deep inside begins to shrink, spiritually, emotionally. And once that happens, life starts to fade. The women who still shine, they don't just eat well or stay mobile, they stay connected. On purpose. They keep friendships alive. They call old friends. They share meals. They volunteer. They show up, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. There's a toxic lie many older women begin to believe, that they're no longer useful, that they become a burden, that they're just taking up space. This lie is dangerous, and it grows stronger in silence. The truth is, few things are more valuable than a woman who has lived, who has overcome, who has wisdom to share. But if you don't believe your voice matters, you stop speaking. And if you stop speaking, people stop listening. And then slowly you begin to disappear. If you want to stay alive, not just breathing, but truly alive, then step into life. Not quietly, not halfway, fully. Reach out, even when it's hard. Show up, even when you're tired. Send that message, make the call, ask someone about their life, and truly listen, because those small, real human moments, they are what make life beautiful. You don't need a crowd, just a few real, lasting connections, built with effort, with presence, with heart. And don't assume everyone's too busy. They're not. They're just waiting for someone to go first. You can be that someone at 70, at 80, anytime. You can be the one who builds the bridge. Connection is not just fun, it's healing, it's medicine. A real talk can ease blood pressure. A laugh with a friend can reduce pain. Sharing your story with someone who truly hears you can give you strength. These aren't just soft moments, they have real, powerful effects on your health and happiness. And they only happen if you stay open. Feeling disconnected doesn't mean you're broken. It means something's missing, and it can be rebuilt. Even if your closest loved ones are gone, even if friends have faded, even if you've spent years alone, it is never too late to reach out, reconnect, and begin again. Someone out there needs what you have, your experience, your stories, your care, and you need them too. Because being needed is one of the deepest human. When we lose that, we start to lose ourselves. Women who age well didn't just fall into strong relationships, they built them. Through difficulty, through forgiveness, through courage. They stayed in the conversation even when it hurt, especially when it hurt. Because connection isn't always neat, it's real. And it's worth it. So keep calling, keep showing up, keep investing in people. Your joy depends on it, your health depends on it, your purpose depends on it, not just for how long you live, but for how deeply. The women who keep thriving, they never stop building bridges. Don't let your world get smaller. Make it bigger. Step back into life, because life, real life, only happens in connection with others. People listen, they shrink, they let go of the steering wheel and just drift. But the ones who flourish, the 5%, they don't ask what the world owes them. They ask what they can still give. They choose to carry responsibility. And responsibility is not a burden, it's a path to strength. When you take ownership of something, no matter how small, you give yourself a reason to rise each morning, a reason to care, a reason to keep pushing forward. And it doesn't need to be something huge. It doesn't have to be about building an organization or writing a bestseller. It could be tending to your garden, mentoring a younger woman, helping out at the library, guiding your grandchild, or simply taking care of your health, your household, your neighborhood. What matters most is that it's real, that it's regular, that it pulls you forward. You don't need to turn the whole world around. You just need to stay moving. A woman in motion can shift direction, can grow, can evolve, but a woman who stops, who releases every meaningful duty, starts to crumble from the inside, not because of aging, but because of inactivity. Passive living is not true living, it's just existent. And existence without purpose slowly turns into emptiness. It's your sense of responsibility that keeps the shadows away. When you know someone is counting on you, when your effort affects someone else, you show up differently. Your thoughts become clearer, your steps more deliberate. You raise your standards. And that discipline becomes the frame that holds up everything else. Your health, your focus, your self-restraint, your connection. Without purpose, those things begin to unravel. Because the question always comes eventually, why keep going? And if you don't have an answer, your body will sense it, your soul will feel it. But if you do have an answer, even a small one, then each day becomes a mission. A chance to fulfill your calling, not someone else's, but yours. That's where real energy comes from. You're not just alive, you're engaged, you're present, you're part of something. It's easy to assume that purpose only belongs to the young, that it fades with the years, but that belief is false. Purpose changes shape, it grows, it becomes deeper. When you're younger, purpose might be ambition, success, goals, but as you grow older, purpose becomes service, reflection, quiet impact, passing wisdom down, being a foundation for others, keeping traditions alive. That kind of purpose, weaker, but stronger, because it's built from real life, not just dreams. But it won't show up on its own. You have to seek it. You have to ask yourself the tough questions. What do I still care about? Who still needs me? What have I been avoiding that I now have time to face? These questions may not be easy, but they are important because they awaken something in you that the world often tries to silence. And if you allow yourself to fully wake up, you'll see that there's still a battle worth fighting, still a message worth sharing, still a legacy worth building. That's what the 5% understand, that a purposeful life doesn't expire, that responsibility isn't a punishment, it's a privilege, that as long as you can move, speak, think, or act, there is still something meaningful you can do, and in that doing, there is real life. Not just surviving, not just getting by, life with meaning, with aim, with fulfillment. People often ignore sleep. That's the truth. They treat it like a leftover, something to fit in after everything else, but your body doesn't see it that way. Sleep is not a treat, it's not laziness, it's not extra. It is one of the most important parts of your physical and mental wellness, especially after 70. And yet, it's the thing most often overlooked. Here's the reality. Your bounce back ability drops as you age. You don't have the same room for error. In your younger days, you could run on 4 hours, eat poorly, and still manage, but now, one night of restless sleep can throw off your whole week. One bout of insomnia and your memory gets fuzzy, your balance becomes shaky, your immune system slows, your mood darkens. You shift from being proactive to just reacting. That's when true decline begins, not because of age, but because of lack of recovery. Women who continue to thrive into their later years know this. They honor recovery. They treat sleep like an important meeting they never cancel, not because it's easy, but because it's vital. And here's the key: discipline. Most people connect discipline with effort, with grinding, with doing more. But the deeper discipline is knowing when to pause, when to rest, when to slow down so you can rise stronger. That takes wisdom, that takes self-respect, that takes humility, the understanding that you are not unbreakable. Some women carry a pride that's dangerous. They boast about getting by on little sleep, as if that's strength. But that's not power, that's denial. And it's stealing time and vitality. Because it's during sleep that your mind heals, that your body mends, that your memories settle and your thoughts become clear. You can do everything else right, eat well, stay active, stay involved, but if your sleep is broken, everything else starts to fall apart. And yes, sleep becomes more complicated with age. Hormones shift, aches rise, worries intrude. What once came naturally now takes effort. That's why structure matters more than ever. You must build your lifestyle around rest, not just hope it happens. That means creating a regular bedtime, making a routine that tells your mind, we're done for the day. It means avoiding screens, caffeine, heavy foods, and stressful talks before bed. It means turning your bedroom into a peaceful retreat. Dark, quiet, cool, uncluttered. It means treating sleep with reverence, even when it's inconvenient. The recovery isn't only about sleep, it's about space. The body needs balance, stress, and calm, effort and ease, movement and stillness. But we've been trained to fear being still. We label it lazy. So we keep pushing, consuming, distracting. But the truth is, growth happens during recovery. Stillness is where clarity comes, where your nervous system settles, where your spirit catches up. If you never rest, you never rebuild. Some of the strongest women you'll meet in their 70s and beyond aren't the ones who push the hardest. They're the ones who rest with intention, who understand their body, who live with rhythm, balanced, steady rhythm that lets them keep showing up year after year without breaking down. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. The body isn't a robot, it's a living, breathing system. It needs care, it needs rhythm. You can't demand strength, you must earn it, and you will earn it by respecting your recovery. Not as an escape, but as a foundation. If you want mental clarity, physical power, emotional steadiness, it begins with sleep. If you want to continue showing up for your loved ones, your calling, your responsibilities, it begins with sleep. If you want not just longer years, but richer years, it begins with sleep. There's no shortcut, no magic fix, just a decision, night after night, to honor the body that's carried you this far, to give it what it truly needs, to put as much care into your rest as you do into your work. That's what separates the 5%, not more hustle, but more alignment, not more doing, but better restoring. Every woman faces moments when life doesn't go as planned. Hopes fade, health changes, people drift, grief shows up unannounced. And with age, these moments arrive more often. Retirement isn't always peaceful. It can be confusing. Friendships shift. The body starts changing faster than your mind can keep up. And the road ahead can feel smaller. In those moments, it's not your physical strength that holds you together. It's your inner strength. Your emotional resilience. Your mental backbone, the quiet courage to keep going when things no longer make sense. It doesn't mean pretending to be fine. It's not about faking a smile. It's about facing life head on with grace and grit. It's about the ability to feel pain without becoming bitter, to mourn without sinking into hopelessness, to adjust without losing your core. And that strength doesn't happen overnight. It's built over time, through experience, reflection, and choosing growth when everything in you wants to quit. Some collapse under pressure, others turn cold and shut the world out. But the ones who rise after 70, the ones who keep glowing, they stay both strong and soft. They remain rooted but open. They've learned how to stand in the storm without letting it swallow them. That's what true maturity looks like. Not ignoring pain, but weaving it into your strength. And it starts with responsibility. You cannot be emotionally strong if you are always pointing fingers. Yes, life is unfair. Yes, things happen beyond your control. But your power begins the moment you say, "This is where I am. What can I do now?" That shift from victim to leader is everything. Without it, you stay stuck. Real toughness isn't about pretending nothing hurts. It's about feeling every bit of it, the fear, the sorrow, the anger, and staying present. It's about holding to your values, doing what's right, even when your heart wants to run away. That's where dignity is born. That's how self-respect is built. After 70, it's tempting to back away from challenge, to settle, to avoid discomfort. Haven't you earned that? But life doesn't stop throwing things your way. It just changes shape. You'll lose people, you'll meet limits, you'll shed identities you once clung to. Those who crumble are the ones who expected ease. The ones who thrive are those who find peace inside the storm. Resilience also means being emotionally aware. You must know your feelings in order to handle them. Many women push emotions down, they distract, they avoid, but those feelings always find a way out through bitterness, isolation, mood swings, or sadness. Strong women don't run from emotion, they name it, they explore it. They ask, what is this feeling here to teach me? Then they act from wisdom, not impulse. And perhaps most of all, resilience is rooted in meaning. When pain feels pointless, it destroys you, but when you believe, even a little, that there's something valuable in the struggle, something to learn, something to pass on, then that pain becomes part of your strength. It becomes your story. Not the one that broke you, but the one that refined you. The older you grow, the more the world tries to soften your fire, to tell you to coast, to settle, to give up the fight. But the 5%, the women who keep rising, they know better. They understand that the soul must be fed just as much as the body. They know life isn't defined by the absence of pain, but by how you transform it into wisdom, into strength, into grace. If you want to stay fully alive, not just physically, but spiritually, you must grow this kind of strength. You must become a woman who can carry tension without breaking, who can face uncertainty without losing heart, who can endure loss and still show up in love. Because life, especially in your later chapters, will still demand things from you. And if you can respond with clarity, power, humility, and heart, then you don't just age, you rise, you become timeless.